today I have 5 great fall read recommendations for you. So the genre that I mostly read is YA, which is young adult. I know I'm 36, but for me, YA is still where it's at. So if you are a YA reader and you like sci-fi, action adventure, mixed in with a little bit of romance, angsty teen, pop culture remarks, and great female protagonist, then these 5 books are probably going to be great for you. My first recommend is Monument 14 by Emmy Laybourne. This was an excellent book. This is a trilogy and it is fantastic. This is an apocalyptic thriller. Let me tell you, this is so good. This is about a group of teens on a bus on their way to school, and a crazy hailstorm hits, and their bus driver has enough wits about her to crash their bus into what we would consider like a Walmart supercenter, but they called it something different in this book, and it just takes off from there. A group of teens with all different kinds of personalities, your trademark typical jocks, your cheerleaders, your nerds, your all that all mixed together in this supercenter, trying to survive the end of the world, which was caused by something, when you learn, just like blows your mind. And they have this incredible adventure, and between the 3 books you come to love the main protagonists of this story. You get so hooked and so involved in their lives because there's so much hurt and pain, and teens trying to overcome teen drama, teen bullying, teen stereotypes, while they're trying to survive the end of the world and find their families. And by the end of the 3rd book, you're just so involved in their lives and you're rooting for them. This was just one of a great book. If you like end of the world, action-packed thrillers with romance and great character development stories, this definitely is the trilogy for you. I highly recommend it, and it's just great fall reading. Black City by Elizabeth Richard is my second recommend for you. Such a great book. This also is a trilogy. The weather in this book kind of makes it feel a great read for fall, because it's kind of in that transition where the weather's just getting cool and kind of transitioning into the cooler months of October and November. So the weather kind of plays a factor in this book, which makes it feel like fall. But this is probably a good paranormal YA. You're definitely dealing with creatures and humans and how the worlds come together. Darklings is what some of the creatures are called in this book. They are the main protagonists, I guess we should say. And they're never called vampires in this book, but their traits are vampire-esque, but their main word is darklings. And then there's some other creatures that are kind of thrown in there as well. And it has some very interesting plot twists. And again, you get that forbidden love story between a darkling and a human, and you also get that forbidden love story of being on the wrong side of the track, so to speak. You know, one is shunned and forbidden, and that, you know, on the other side of the tracks, and the other one's put in a position where, you know, it's almost like the president's daughter, that kind of thing. So you have 2 great love elements in there, plus the characters are just so intriguing. Even the human characters are very intriguing. The storyline is twisted between 3 books. You really have to read all 3 books, because the storyline just keeps developing and developing and developing, and you're like, where is this going? What? Just tell me already, just tell me already. And like, she saves it all the way to like the last 2 chapters of the 3rd book, which about drove me crazy, but was great for a fantastic evening warm and cozy read. It's such a good trilogy, full of action, full of love. Definitely a great page turner. My third recommend for you guys is Dune by Carrie, Corp, and Laurie Langdon. There is like four or five books in this series. It's not a trilogy, it's a series. So, so good. I haven't read the last one yet, so I don't know if it's the last one. Because sometimes you get to these and you're like, you think it's the last one, and then the authors surprise you with the new one. So I haven't read the last one yet, so I can't say it's like four and done. It might be 4 or 5. Well, might be 5. It's already 4. So anyways, such a good book. Again, as always, this is YA, but this is like YA fantasy. This is so, so good. What makes this book very interesting is that it has 2 authors, Carrie Corp and Laurie Langdon. So you have 2 main female protagonists, and each author takes one, which makes the writing incredible because they are very 2 distinct voices. 2 very different female protagonists who just happen to be best friends. And there is so much teen angst, teen pop culture references and remarks and throwbacks in this book. At 36, this had me howling. I literally would laugh out loud because these 2 American typical teen girls who have very different voices, very different from each other, but best friends, get thrown into this magical world of Dune, which is very set back into the period with kings and queens, and they meet 2 handsome brother princes. So there's a whole love connection thing going on in there, but they're trying to learn how to make themselves appropriate and kind of fit in to this old world styled magical kingdom called Dune, being very typical American girls from 2016. It's so funny. But that is not the main point of the book. The book really is about the storyline of the magic getting to this magical kingdom called Dune, which is extremely interesting, and the relationship between the girls is so powerful and so interesting because it's so distinct voices, very distinct voices between the 2 of them. The writing in this is absolutely magnificent for 2 authors to come together with one storyline, with one plot, but 2 very different characters with 2 very different voices, and be able to pull that together is incredible. And they didn't just write 1 book, 2 books, 3 books, they wrote 4, and they might be writing 5. So it's incredible. The love story is incredible. The action is incredible. I guess we could put it, your main protagonist villain has a very interesting storyline of their own, and you mix all this together and it's just a great read. And again, this kind of takes place in the fall, transitioning into like the winter months, so it definitely has a fall feeling to it. So great fall read. My 4th recommend for you guys is Angel Eyes by Shannon Ditmore. This also is a trilogy. I read a lot of trilogies. I have very few standalones, if you haven't noticed. Love this book. This book is fantastic. This definitely feels fall to me. It's just as the kids are going back to school is when you meet the main female protagonist of this book. So it's already like that transition into the fall months. The kids are going back to school, cool evenings kind of thing. So it definitely feels fall. This probably would be considered like a YA paranormal with a fantastic love story. This deals with angels and demons and a whole world that's kind of like not seen. It has incredible parallel things from our world to their world and how they mix, and oh my gosh, it's just so good. I highly recommend this book. So this is a trilogy, and between all 3 books you fall so in love with Brielle and Jake, and you're just like, you want them to overcome, and they're kind of like the underdogs, but they both have this mysterious story. And I love that when the male and female protagonist have these deep stories, and you have to keep reading to find out why they are the way they are, what's happening, why is this going on, and their life story is kind of unfolding before you. But she has such a beautiful way of, Shannon Ditmore, the author, has such a beautiful way of bringing it about because she doesn't rush it. She kind of takes it through all 3 books. Oh, just so good. So good. If you love that paranormal romance, angel, demon, it kind of feels like the end of the world kind of thing. Oh, this book is definitely for you. So good. I'm going to put it out there. It is Christian fiction. This is kind of the genre that I write. So she definitely was an inspiration when I wrote my books. Love Shannon Ditmore. So much action, so much adventure, and really good heartfelt message as well. Definite recommend. My fifth and final fall recommend for you all is Angel Fall by Susan E. I have so much to say about this one. This was, I think it was 2015. Yes, I do. This was my favorite trilogy. The best of the best for 2015. Oh my god. It's so good. This definitely is a apocalyptic kind of book. It's definitely set like at the end of the world, and you come right in on it in the fall season, and it has the same kind of thing kind of as Angel Eyes. It's set between angels and demons and this whole end of the world thing that's going on, but it's such a fantastic book because it's put in the position of people who don't believe in angels and demons, and they kind of have no choice to believe in angels and demons because they're just kind of thrown into their face. And Penryn, the main female protagonist of this book, is fantastic. Her story is heartbreaking, and you throw that in with this crazy storyline, and you're just like, oh my god. And you get so connected to Penryn because of her story and the struggles that she's going through while all these things are happening, and she doesn't know how to take all of this, and she's thrust and thrown into this crazy world between angels and demons, and she has to do what she has to do to save her sister, who happens to be a paraplegic who is paralyzed from her waist down, and she is like her sister's guardian. Oh, it's just so good. It's just so good. I don't know how else to explain it. So if you definitely want a page turner, this is a trilogy. I read each book in one day. 3 days. I had the whole trilogy done. Could not put this down. All three of them. Can't say enough about this. If you haven't read this yet, what are you waiting for? This is fantastic. I highly recommend this. So those are my 5 fall recommends for you guys. If you love to read and you love YA like myself, these books are definitely not disappointing. I don't think you will be upset that you picked these up and gave them a whirl, because I know I wasn't, and I like my YA, and it better have action and adventure, it better be a page turner, it better have some really good romance in it, and it better have a good plot. Otherwise, it's thumbs down for me. So these books have all of that. So I hope you pick them up and read them. If you read any of these, tell me your thoughts about them down in the comments. If you're going to read some of these, make sure you tell me that too. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you guys want to see some more book recommends and things like that, let me know in the comments down below. I filmed this for a specific someone out there, you know who you are, who asked to see more book related things on Do What You Love. There you go. And I promise the 100 book tag is coming. I'm saving it for the premiere of the 4th season of the 100. Until the next video, guys, continue to always do what you love, read what you love, and I will be back soon with another video. Until then, take care of you. Bye! Hey, no, no, no.